Investigational product receipt day is one of the most controlled operational moments in clinical research. Receiving investigational product is a regulated activity that marks the formal transfer of custody from the sponsor to the site. From that moment forward, the site becomes responsible for maintaining the integrity, accountability, and traceability of that product. In this module, we'll walk through what investigational product receipt day actually looks like in practice. This presentation teaches the full receipt workflow from start to finish: shipment notification, IWRS preparation, delivery planning, package receipt, package inspection, shipment opening, immediate IP storage, temp logger review, temperature assessment, shipment documentation, filing, accountability entry, and IWRS closeout. That is the complete operational chain for receipt day. Investigational product receipt day actually begins when the site is notified that a shipment has been placed. This usually starts with confirmation from the CRA, study team, or study manager that investigational product has been ordered for the site. In many studies, the site will also receive an automated notification from the IWRS or IRT system confirming that a shipment has been generated and is now pending delivery. That notification is the first operational trigger for site preparation. Once shipment is confirmed, the CRC should begin preparing immediately. This includes reviewing the shipment details, confirming that product is expected, and understanding what actions will be required once the shipment arrives. Once shipment has been confirmed, the next step is to review the shipment details directly in IWRS. This is especially important for first shipments, where site setup and receipt expectations are often more detailed than routine resupply shipments. Within IWRS, confirm that the shipment has been ordered for your site and review any shipment-specific instructions provided in the system. This often includes what steps are required once the shipment is received, such as confirming receipt in the system, acknowledging shipment arrival, or completing a receipt workflow after verification is complete. This is also the best time to identify any post-receipt actions that may be required, such as temperature review, system confirmation, or shipment release steps. Reviewing these instructions in advance prevents delays, avoids missed system steps, and ensures the site is prepared to complete receipt correctly once the shipment arrives. Once shipment has been confirmed in IWRS, the next step is to prepare the site for delivery. Before the shipment arrives, confirm that the delivery address listed for the site is correct and that the appropriate delivery contact has been identified. This is especially important in larger institutions where shipments may be routed through receiving desks, hospital logistics, or shared delivery unit before reaching the study team. The CRC should also ensure that an appropriately delegated team member is available to receive the shipment when it arrives. Because investigational product is a controlled study material, delivery should not be left unattended or accepted without a clear handoff process. If there is a possibility the shipment may arrive when primary study staff are off-site, a backup plan should already be in place. This may include notifying the building receiving desk, alerting unit staff, or providing an escalation contact to ensure the shipment is not delayed, misplaced, or left unrefrigerated. It is also important to prepare the storage site. You might need to order containers for the IP or ensure that there is available storage space. When the shipment arrives, the package should be accepted promptly and handed directly to the designated receiving staff member. At the point of receipt, confirm that the shipment has been delivered to the correct site and addressed to the appropriate recipient. As soon as the package is received, document the date and exact time of delivery. This should be recorded immediately, as it becomes part of the shipment record and may be required for receipt documentation, temperature review, or sponsor reconciliation. Once received, the shipment should be moved directly to a controlled review area for inspection and processing. This should be a clean, secure space where the shipment can be reviewed without delay and where temperature-sensitive contents can be handled appropriately. The package has now entered site custody, and all subsequent handling should follow controlled IP receipt procedures according to the protocol. Before opening the shipment, inspect the package carefully. Start by reviewing the outer packaging for any visible signs of damage. This includes tears, dents, punctures, water exposure, broken seals, or signs that the package may have been mishandled in transit. For temperature-controlled shipments, also confirm that the cold chain packaging appears intact. The shipper should still appear appropriately sealed and structurally stable, with no obvious indication that the contents were compromised during transport. This step is important because shipment integrity should always be assessed before package contents are disturbed. Once the box is opened, the original shipping condition has been altered, so any visible concerns must be identified first. If there are concerns with external condition, this should be documented immediately and escalated according to sponsor or pharmacy guidance before proceeding further. Once the external package has been inspected, the shipment can be opened. Open the shipper carefully and avoid disrupting the internal contents more than necessary. At this stage, the goal is to quickly identify the three components that matter most for receipt processing: the investigational product, the temperature logger, and the shipment documentation. The investigational product should be identified first, so it can be prioritized for storage. The temperature logger should also be located immediately, as it will need to be reviewed and stopped shortly after opening. Finally, identify the shipment paperwork included in the package, which may include packing slips, receipt forms, shipping records, or sponsor-specific documentation that must be completed on receipt. These materials should be separated early, so the shipment can be processed in a controlled and efficient sequence. Once the shipment is open, the investigational product should be prioritized immediately. The most important principle on receipt day is simple. Once investigational product is removed from the shipper, it should be transferred to appropriate storage as quickly as possible. Do not leave temperature-sensitive product on the counter while reviewing paperwork or processing the temperature logger. The IP should first be moved into its designated storage location under protocol-required conditions. For many studies, this means immediate transfer into controlled refrigerated storage, such as a 2 to 8 degree investigational product refrigerator. For other studies, storage conditions may differ, but the principle remains the same. Product stability takes priority over documentation. On receipt day, storage comes first. Everything else follows. Once the investigational product has been placed into storage, attention should shift to the temperature logger. The first step is to review the temp logger status immediately after opening the shipment. Before stopping or downloading the logger, first assess whether the device indicates that acceptable transport conditions were maintained during shipment. This typically includes reviewing the display for the shipment status indicator and checking for any excursion alerts or alarm markers. Depending on the logger type, this may appear as a pass or fail indicator, a check mark or cross, or another visual cue showing whether the shipment remained within acceptable range during transit. This initial review provides the first indication of whether temperature integrity was maintained and whether further assessments can proceed routinely or may require escalation. Once the shipment status has been reviewed, the temperature logger should be stopped promptly according to the device-specific instructions. This step should be done immediately after opening an initial review, as some devices require the logger to be stopped within a defined time frame once the shipment is opened. Because temperature loggers vary by vendor and model, always follow the instructions provided with that specific device. For example, some may require pressing and holding the stop button for several seconds until the stop indicator appears on the screen. Before setting the logger aside, confirm that the device has stopped successfully and that the stop status is visible. Only once the logger has been properly stopped should temperature data review begin. Once the temperature logger has been stopped, the next step is to review the shipment temperature data. Connect the logger to a computer according to the device instructions. For many devices, this will open as a removable drive and provide access to the shipment temperature file directly. In some cases, the file may be opened immediately. In others, it may need to be located within the device folder. Once accessed, review the full shipment temperature log and confirm that the transport record is complete and readable. For some studies, reviewing the logger file alone is not the final temperature assessment step. Certain temperature loggers require an additional review through a vendor portal before the shipment can be considered fully acceptable. In these cases, the logger file must be uploaded to the designated platform for formal temperature review and shipment release confirmation. Once uploaded, the system may assess the shipment and confirm whether transport conditions remained acceptable throughout transit. If the shipment passes review, retain the resulting confirmation as part of the shipment record. This may be saved electronically, printed for filing, or both, depending on site practice. If the portal flags an excursion or indicates that shipment conditions were not maintained, the investigational product should not be released for use until the issue has been reviewed and resolved according to sponsor guidance. Once temperature review is complete, the shipment documentation should be completed immediately. This includes all paperwork provided with the shipment, along with any sponsor-specific receipt forms that must be completed on arrival. At minimum, record the shipment details, date received, exact time received, shipment condition on arrival, and the documented minimum and maximum shipment temperatures. These values should be transcribed carefully and reviewed for accuracy before filing. Complete this documentation while the shipment details are still readily available. Delaying this step increases the risk of missed information, inaccurate entries, or incomplete records. Once documentation is complete, all shipment records should be filed in the appropriate locations. This typically includes retaining a complete shipment record in the study shipment file, along with filing applicable records in the pharmacy site file or site regulatory file, depending on how investigational product documentation is managed at your site. At minimum, retain the shipment paperwork, completed receipt documentation, temperature records, vendor portal confirmation if applicable, and any related shipment correspondence. Once shipment documentation has been completed and filed, the investigational product must be formally entered into the site accountability log. Using the accountability form provided by the sponsor, pharmacy, or site, record the shipment details exactly as they appear on the investigational product packaging and shipment records. This typically includes the shipment number, kit number or kit numbers received, lot or batch number, expiry date, and quantity received. Depending on the product and packaging, some of these details may need to be confirmed directly from the investigational product labels after the product has already been placed into storage. In practice, this often means briefly retrieving the product from refrigerated storage to confirm exact kit or expiry details before returning it immediately to temperature-controlled storage. Accuracy is critical here. The accountability log becomes the official inventory record used for dispensing, reconciliation, monitoring, and audit review. The final operational step on receipt day is to complete shipment acknowledgement in IWRS. Once the shipment has been received, reviewed, documented, filed, and entered into accountability, return to IWRS and complete the shipment receipt workflow in the system. This may include acknowledging shipment arrival, confirming receipt date, verifying shipment acceptance, or completing any sponsor-required system prompts associated with receipt. The exact workflow may vary by system, but the principle is the same. The shipment is not fully received until site receipt has been confirmed in IWRS and the system record reflects successful receipt. This is the final step that closes the operational shipment workflow. Investigational Products Receipt Day is the first formal site-level custody event in the investigational product lifecycle and the point at which accountability formally transfers to the site. From that moment forward, the site is responsible for maintaining storage integrity, inventory accuracy, temperature control, and full traceability of investigational product use. That is what makes Investigational Product Receipt Day compliant, controlled, and audit-ready. Thank you for watching. If you found this video useful, consider subscribing to Resplain on YouTube and give this video a thumbs up.